Welcome to Inferno's second Get to Know the Creator video. Today we have the lovely DivineKate.
Hi.
I've got some quick fire questions today and we'll get to know a little bit more about Kate. So my first question is very basic, generic one. When did you start creating content?
At least 5 or 6 years ago now.
Tell us how you got into WoW, being that it's your majority game.
How did I get into WoW? Okay, so back into high school, a lot of people talked about WoW when I was in high school, 2004, 2005. So we're looking, Burning Crusade, that kind of era.
Yep.
And I said, nah, I'm not gonna try that game. Listen, no, it's not for me.
Yep.
And eventually one of my friends at school talked me into it. And they said, hey, look, there's a new expansion coming out called Wrath of the Lich King. And I said, oh, okay. And they're like, look, so far, the game's going to change in Wrath of the Lich King. Telling you it's going to change. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a go.
Yep.
So went to the midnight launch of Wrath of the Lich King and been playing on and off ever since.
Nice. Oh, yeah. So you're pretty much hooked from then on, pretty much?
Pretty much, yeah. I went straight home from EB Games or GameStop for Americans. Went straight home, installed it as soon as I could, and got on as soon as I could,
Nice. Love that. Hell yeah. So I know you're an average mount collector in WoW.
Yes.
If anyone's seen your streams, I'm sure they'll know that now. But the main question is, how many mounts do you actually have in total?
At the moment, current standings are 1,103 in World of Warcraft. Almost 150 in Final Fantasy as well.
Jeez.
And there's about 300-ish in Final Fantasy as well.
Jesus, there you go. Okay. Wow.
So there's about 1,200 and something of obtainable mounts in WoW. So I've almost got all obtainable.
Yep.
Just
Jesus.
PvP and stuff like that to get.
Yeah, nice. Master Collector. I know what it is. Yep. I had a bit of a look, but explain to the viewers and stuff like that what it is and how it came about.
So, being a mount collector that I am, I always found that there was no add-on or checklist to be able to know where you're up to in the game or anything like that for collecting.
Yep.
Yes, sure, there is things like other add-ons like rarity or all the things, that sort of thing as well, that actually, look, you can go, oh, yep, this is what I've not collected.
Yep.
Cool. Fantastic. But there's not one that gives you a task list for daily, weekly, or whenever a special event is up, to go and do the things. And some of the other add-ons are very, bloaty and intensive on your hardware.
Yep.
Whereas mine has been created from the bottom up, not using anyone else's libraries.
Yep.
Just very simple, very small, that sort of thing as well. So simply put, Master Collectors, the idea behind it is to be a collecting add-on with a task list. What you need to get right now in-game.
Yeah. Nice. Oh yeah.
And how often you need to do those said tasks. Daily, weekly, this event up, whether something else is up, like a special event that's on for 3 hours, it comes up every 2 weeks. I've got a timer for that, whatever the case may be.
So it always pretty much keeps you busy and is always there to help you out.
A lot of people, myself in my community, are either neurospicy in a way. So the ADHD, myself, I'm autistic.
Yep.
Focus can be a hard thing in World of Warcraft. And a lot of people use spreadsheets and that sort of thing as well. Look, I don't mind spreadsheets, but I wanted something that pulled directly from the game to be able to compare without having to think about it.
Yeah.
Without having to formulate stuff.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It's something different for everyone, and you're obviously reaching that sort of part of the community to help them out. And yeah,
it's a good way to giving back. A lot of people do, whether it be community runs or something like that. Look, I tried that. It's not my forte. So I found something that was a little bit more my forte, which is coding and putting that in and learning that.
For the more content side of it, what are some milestones that you've hit in your content career so far already?
So I've hit 1,200 followers. I got recognized as official content creator at DreamHack.
Yep.
I have been around the world and had like a follower, like on the other side of the world, the United States. I was able to sit down with viewers. We had breakfast together. I picked them all up, driving around, picking them all up, those sort of things, and be able to just make friends and, be able to help people with things. Like, sure, I collect mounts. Sure, I do things. Yes, me. No, I like helping people too.
Doing that just in general is awesome, but doing it through content is like, it's great.
Kills two birds with one stone too.
Yeah, exactly. You do something you like and you help people. It's like win-win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must have seen something, or I must have just been like, I'm going to chuck a random question in there. How do you have your coffee?
Oh, yes. Because I love coffee. That's fair. Yeah.
Yep.
Look, if I'm feeling in a sweet mood, I'll have a little bit of caramel syrup in it, a bit of sweetness. But generally, I'll just have it flat white. I'm a real plain Jane kind of girl. No sugar, white, pretty easy.
Yep. Can't go wrong.
I like my
flat
coffee
white.
Pretty much.
I know you were going to say something there. Go for it.
I like my coffee easy.
Very nice.
I'll keep it appropriate.
Yeah.
Look.
We'll have to have two of these interviews. One
spicy, one not. Yeah.
Yeah.
One child-friendly, one spicy.
Yeah. What is next for DivineKate?
What is next? Okay. So currently Master Collector is sitting at a point where it's up to date to Dragonflight. So I need to update it with War Within, get it a little bit more up to date. So that's my add-on side of things.
Yep.
Format creator side of things, look, goals-wise, I'd love to land a content creator pass at PAX Australia.
Yep.
I'd love to travel over to BlizzCon.
Yep.
I'd love to travel over to another event, which is LFG London, which is a World of Warcraft event hosted by EU creators.
Yep.
As for actual goals and stuff like that, I want to get back more on track with my TikTok, my YouTubes, with giving guides as well, which will interface with Master Collector.
Yep.
So be able to help people get mounts, pets, toys, whatever it may be in World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy.
Nice. So you sort of will expand that sort of...
I've got a good base now.
Yeah.
I've got a good base.
Yep.
Let's start building on that.
Yeah. Last one is, where can the viewers find yourself and your content?
Okay, so I am on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday night at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. You
can also find me on the on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at DivineKate89, or you can find me on Blue Sky and Threads as well as DivineKate89, but Blue Sky is divinekate.bluesky.social.
Awesome. Oh yeah. And for Master Collector, I know we'll probably put it in the description, but is it literally just typing in Master Collector and that's it?
So you can go onto CurseForge and go to search Master Collector with space. Yep. It'll come up, not a problem at all. It's about second or third in the list that comes up when you search that on CurseForge. Also available on Wago as well, or WowUp, or whatever download installer you use for World of Warcraft. Awesome. You can also find it on all my socials as well, or a direct download link can be found on beacons.ai/DivineKate.
Nice. Awesome. That was pretty much all my questions today. If you have anything more to add, anything else, then absolutely go for it.
I have one question for Inferno, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Where do you folks see yourselves going with content creators and that sort of thing as well? Because being Inferno, you folks are mainly focused on FPS creation, that sort of thing as well. There's a lot of FPS creators and that sort of thing as well.
Yep.
Are you thinking of doing anything with variety, MMO, whatever the case may be, just for everyone else out there as well?
Yeah. Well, when we're looking into getting more creators, variety, we will be expanding out to that.
We're looking at you. We're looking at you, folks. We're looking at you.
Yeah. Hey, content creator, you love MMOs, you love doing a bit of content. That's not FPS.
We're looking at you. We got you.
Yeah. We're a lovely community. We love helping out other creators, and we've got a great team. And
without a doubt.
And we're excited.
Yourself, your lovely partner in crime.
Yeah, Sporky. Yeah.
Yeah, Spork. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna be expanding out sort of more.
Yeah.
From the FPS, because not only like we've had a big focus at the start of the year on the esports sort of side of it. Now the rest of it will be just content. Obviously coming up to PAX near October.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. First week of October.
Yeah, already forgotten it. I've got my tickets and everything. We're gonna have a couple of big plans for that, and hopefully have some new faces there with us. So, yeah,
it'll be good. No, you folks, the team at Inferno have looked after me immensely. Just made me feel at home. It's for those out there as well that are looking for a place among a gaming community. Inferno has welcomed me with open arms. Look, I was always hesitant with joining communities and that sort of thing as well, having experience in a more diverse culture with MMOs, for lack of better words. Sometimes MMOs and of the likes can have a bit of a toxic background sometimes. So, but no, Inferno's team is fantastic, folks. If you are looking for a home, I can't recommend it enough.
Appreciate that. Why is it so warm in here all of a sudden? Okay.
Right.
Oh, appreciate that. Well, awesome. Well, that is pretty much. This is DivineKate, and this was our Get to Know Our Creator series.